Hi everybody, Lambkin here. Hope you're all doing good. We've had about a year with Tekken 8 now, and by extension Tekken 8 Law, and a lot of people have asked me for a while now actually to make a video where I voice my opinions about Law after 1 year with the character here. So I'm going to do that today. This is not going to be a guide or anything, this is just going to be a video of me voicing my opinions about Tekken 8 Law. I'm gonna talk about what I like about Tekken 8 Law. I'm gonna talk about some of the things I dislike about Tekken 8 Law and things that I think could be improved. I'm gonna come with some suggestions as well. Although this is not going to be specifically a Season 2 wishlist video, but I am gonna talk about some suggestions. And then I'm also going to boot up Tekken 7, and we're gonna have a look at Tekken 7 Law, some of the things, moves and mechanic I miss from that game that I hope they would bring back as well. So yeah, we're gonna cover a lot of ground today. It's probably going to be a lengthy one, but if you're one of the people who asked for this video, then sit back and relax and let's have a look at it, shall we? Oh yeah, and by the way, today I'm not going to be addressing my opinions on easy DSS. It is something I get asked a lot about, and it's something that I have talked about in great detail many times before. So most people know my opinions on this. For the sake of this video, I'm going to give you the short version, and it is that I think easy DSS is problematic because DSS was balanced around execution. And so if you remove the execution, then you remove the balancing. And yeah, so easy DSS becomes unbalanced. It is too strong, in my opinion. And I think they should change it or remove it entirely. Make some adjustment to it at some point. That's my opinion on that. Alright, I'm gonna start with the things I like about Tekken 8 Law. First move I want to highlight here is forward 3-1, this move right here. It's a very welcome addition to Law's moveset that was added in Tekken 8. I like this move for a lot of different reasons. First of all, it has a very decent range. It's a mid-mid, comes out decently fast at 18 frames, and it's highly delayable as well. Goes into DSS, of course, -2 on block only, and +4 when you go into DSS. Now it used to be that this +4 right here was a little bit bugged, so that you could actually be beaten out by a jab even if you did a 14 frame move here, but they seem to have fixed that with the newest update actually, so that's really nice. So yeah, this move has a lot of good utility. Law has already always kind of struggled with the good engagers, good fast safe engagers from the mid-range here, although it is quite linear still. It's super good to use in this scenario here. And let me see, since it's only -2 on block, you can set up a little trap here. You may do down 2-3 if you want to, or you can do down 2 into slide mix-up or something, right? And again, since it's only -2 on block, you could also choose to just sidewalk or side step around your opponent, try and get to their back. Or you can try and just go for the DSS frame trap with DSS forward 1, like that. See how it works now? She can't jab me out of it. Or DSS 1, of course, counter hit, if I can get the timing. Just like that, for the guaranteed follow-up. And a lot of people are not aware of this, but if you trade with the DSS 1, you are still +14, so you get a free 14 frame. So for example, 3 + 4, 4. See if I can make a trade here, there you go. Just like that. So yeah, a really cool move that they added in this game that has a lot of different utility. I like this move a lot. The next move I want to highlight here is not completely new to Tekken, since it did exist in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I'm talking of course about Forest Laws while standing free, and in this game it's called up forward 3. This move right here, super good move. Covers a really good range here as well. Comes out fast at 18 frames, -8 on block, heat engager as well, mid. And it's actually one of the most important moves for Law in this game. And the reason is that martial law is mostly about slide mix-up. He's about a couple other things as well, but mostly about slide mix-ups in this game. And to put it into a little bit of a perspective here, slide mix-up in Tekken 7, it would look something like this. You would threaten with your while standing 4 DSS stuff from crouch, which was highly technical, of course. Then you had the while standing 1-2, which you had to confirm the first hit and then add the second hit, which was not necessarily easy to do, and this had like really poor range as well. And then of course you had while standing 2, but you would only do this if you were absolutely certain that your opponent would duck, because it's so launch punishable, right? But up forward 3 means that now your slide mix-ups are effective at a much further range than ever before. So that is just extremely good for law, and I think we take this move. We really take this move for granted in this game, I think. So they're completely invaluable in terms of his kit in this game compared to Tekken 7. So that's one of the things I really like about him. It's one of the things that really makes him shine in this game as well, up forward 3. Okay, next here we move on to what is actually personally my favorite, single most favorite new mechanic in this game. And I, as a law player, I'm actually kind of defined by this mechanic right here, and I'm talking about DSS crouch dash. Really, really cool mechanic, and super useful in terms of mind games and utility. You can, of course, use it to spice up your combos and all that kind of stuff, but what I usually use this for is DSS slide mix-up mind games. And what I will do a lot of the time, you've seen this undoubtedly if you watched any of my gameplay, that I will do, for example, DSS manually into DSS crouch dash, and then into a up forward 3, I may do the slide, but most of the time I will do DSS crouch dash into a crouch, and then just do a manual slide, excuse me. Or I will do, this is something I like to do a lot as well, the double dash into a slide, or I will do DSS crouch dash into sidestep into a manual slide. Something like that. Right. Super strong mind game tool. I shit you not, I land 90-95% of the slides I set up like this, because people, they usually go for the low block on the first one, right? And then they can visually confirm this, and this sets up the snake part of their brain that I might do a low right now, and before they even know it, I sidestep, and they have to react really quickly to this, right? And then without noticing it, I've actually gone into a crouch again, and that's when I do the super fast, like instant, almost manual slide. It really messes with people's brain, and yeah, you could do this in so many different ways. And of course, ESS crouch dash into while standing 4. Like again, the possibilities are absolutely endless here. So there's just so much utility and so much mind game potential with this one mechanic here, and it's why I love it so much, and it's why I use it so much. And honestly, I cannot fathom how I don't see more law players abuse this. Maybe I use it a little bit too much, but alternatively I see other players not use it at all. So maybe there's somewhere in between where we should meet. I think it's way too good not to be used like that. So yeah, that's the reasoning for me behind why I like this so much. Alright, next one is short and sweet. It's forward 2 into forward 1+2. So the poison arrow string here. This is a new string they added to Tekken 8. Of course, he still has his old string, forward 2, 1, 3. But this, again, really nice complement to his mid game here, meaning that he has a good forward advancing move that can cover a lot of ground, get in from far away and get some decent plus frames here. But this string is interruptible with a jab, and that's what I also really kind of like about it, because it opens up for a mix-up opportunity with this old string right here. Because this, actually, if the opponent tries to jab interrupt your poison arrow here, they will get clipped by the second hit of this string right here, and if the second hit counter hits here, then the third hit is actually guaranteed. So yeah, it gives a little bit more nuance to these string extensions right here. So I really like that new string for that reason. Next move I want to highlight here is something that I don't personally use enough, I don't think. And probably it's because I'm not really used to having this kind of move. And it's the defensively oriented instant power crush back 1+2. Now, ever since power crushes became a thing, Law had 2 power crushes in Tekken 7. One was a useless high that was locked behind DSS only, and the other was of course 443, which is heat engager in this game. So of course you get a free follow-up if you spend heat, not really worth it most of the time. And it's not as if 443 is bad or anything, it has its utility, but it's not a defensively capable power crush. Like if you're being pressured relentlessly by your opponent, you can't input forward, because then you're gonna get clipped, right? But now you have the opportunity as a defensively, right, to throw out a power crush in back 1+2. And this you also get a free follow-up. You can do it into another back 1+2 if you want, upward 3, nunchuck if that's what you want to do. But if you want the real chunky damage, you're gonna have to do the manual DSS version. Right there for 48 damage. I think if you don't get the blue sparks, I think it's 45 or something like that. Yes, there you go. So yeah, super cool move. Alright, next move I want to talk about, 1+2, the nunchuck here. Such an iconic move it has become. Crazy range on this move, such a good like keep out move, even though it's -13 on block, it's like pretty much safe at tip range as well. Has a lot of different utilities, you can use it in combos, you can use it like from DSS and stuff as well. I think was it patch 105 where they nerfed the Oki on it, but they kept that Oki on the heat version, which I really like. I think that was a good compromise, and I think it was good that they nerfed the Oki on out of heat normal 1+2. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this move. I talked about this a lot as well. It's something it's a move I really like, super fun to use, super good as well. A move that has come to define Tekken 8 Law quite a bit. So it's hard to imagine Law without this move now. Yeah, something that I quite enjoy. I really like the animation as well. It's so cool to have like a nunchuck for Law, feels really fitting, like such a Bruce Lee thing to have. So yeah, just something I really enjoy. Now sidestep 3, arguably one of his best new moves as well. Goes automatically into DSS at +7, means your opponent does not have enough frames to sidestep your DSS forward 1. So you basically get a free mix-up here, and of course if you get the counter hit, get the free I-14 follow-up, whether you want to do like DSS forward 1 into heat engager or a combo if you're already in heat, or if you want to do like 3+4, something like that. Super good at the wall, obviously, for those reasons. Yeah, I have a lot of fun trying to find new ways to get it on my opponent and apply this. Usually like to do like poison arrow to keep people from pressing anything that has plus frames on block, really. You could do dragon hammer into sidestep 3. I personally like to do while standing 3 +17 on block, right? So people don't tend to challenge that. While standing 3 into DSS crouch dash and then into sidestep 3 like this, right? So yeah, super cool move. Really enjoy it, and it has a lot of different applications that you can do. Now this next move is actually not a new move, but it is an old move that got a new property in Tekken 8. DSS 3 did exist previously, but it's got this new hit animation where it slumps the opponent back towards you, face up on the ground. Makes it possible that you can now run up and get a guaranteed stomp and a follow-up nunchuck here. Except for if you hit it at tip range, then you don't have enough time to... Let me see. Then you don't have enough time to run up and get the guaranteed hit. But yeah, I think this is probably too strong. I think this is one of the things that are going to get nerfed in Season 2. I don't think it should be that strong. You should probably be able to get a free nunchuck follow-up. 46 damage would still be like super good for a safe, well, not even safe, plus on block. Does chip damage, homing super fast if you do instant DSS high. right? For it to have real keep out utility like this and be able to get up and get a guaranteed who knows how much damage here, like almost it's like 40%, 45% of your HP bar right there for landing this as a random keep out move. Super fucking strong, right? But I really like that they gave it this new property right here. It also wall splats quite reliably from a decent range now. So yeah, DSS 3, really like the changes to this move, although I do think it's a little bit too strong right now, and I do think they should nerf it so that you only get the guaranteed nunchuck and not the whole up forward 3+4 into nunchuck. I think that's too strong. But yeah, other than that, really like what they did to this move in this game. Now the last sort of mechanic I want to highlight in this section of the video is, I won't spend too much time talking about this, but it's the DSS auto parry. I think it's just something that's incredibly cool, feels super satisfying to pull off if you notice your opponent's liking to jab check you a lot. Yeah, super fun to use. It has saved my ass unintentionally quite a few times as well. So yeah, just super fun, super satisfying, super cool. What else can you say? Alright, so in this section of the video, I'm gonna talk about some of the things that I dislike about Tekken 8 Law. And why not start with the number one thing that I dislike the most about Tekken 8 Law. And it is his fucking backdash. This is, I forget if it's literally on paper the worst or the second worst backdash in the entire game. Now backdashes were nerfed a little bit universally in Tekken 8 compared to Tekken 7. But a lot of characters in Tekken 8, they still have a super decent backdash. I played a lot of Feng recently. Feng has like pretty much a Tekken 7 backdash. But Law's backdash is just so horrible. Like, if you try and backdash like KBD fast, you get literally nowhere. You have to drag it out. It just feels so bad. Like Jin, Law, and King just have so horrible backdash. And I think they don't need to. A lot of people have been debating whether they should buff back dashes again, and I want to put my 2 cents in here. I feel like they don't have to buff backdashes universally, but they do have to buff some characters' backdashes, like King, Jin, and Law. Now, I don't usually advocate for buffs for King or Jin, but I think that they should not suffer this same problem as Law anyway. I think that everyone should have at least a decent backdash. I mean, what the fuck is this? Like, you're gonna see me when I boot up Tekken 7 in a bit. You're gonna see what a KBD should look like. This is not it right here. This is not it. And I think that's actually part of a bigger problem with this game. A lot of people have been complaining about how Law and Jin, for example, are very mashy, like super aggressive characters. And I think that this backdash here is actually quite big part of the reason why, because like even if you are a defensively solid player that does have the ability to KBD quite decently, right, you don't really have the option to do that as much when you play Jin or Law, so you're kind of forced more to go the offensive route, and like you can't really force a whiff by backdashing that much when you play these characters. So like you kind of are more incentivized to go the aggressive route and just go forward instead of backwards, right? Like, why would I even try to backdash when like I think you get what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to go on a super long rant. I want to keep this video like as short as possible. But yeah, that's how I feel about Law's backdash in this game. Absolutely horrible, and it's the number one thing I hope they change. Like, fuck everything else, as long as they like if I could pick one change, it would be the backdash right here. Alright, next move on my hit list here is down forward 3 Dragon Lance. This move right here. This did exist in Tekken 7 as well. It was added in Tekken 7 in, I want to say Season 3, something like that. Back then it was down back 3+4. Nobody used it back then, nobody uses it now barely. It did get a little bit of utility in this game because of the heat burst mechanic. You can get a pickup but it's super strict and it doesn't work on every character. I found out filming this video right here that it's literally the micro dash into heat burst pickup here is literally not possible on Asuka here, and I wonder on how many characters, if it's just a females in general or like random hitbox inconsistency that does it so that this pickup is just, yeah, this is not worth going for at all. So yeah, super useless move that I kind of prefer his old down forward 3 strings, even though they weren't super useful as well, but they had more uses than this at least. It's just yeah, hate this move, always have, probably always will. I'll get into his old down forward 3 when we jump into Tekken 7, but yeah, this is I don't know what they want us to use this for, but I'm not seeing it. I'll try and make this one short. All of his flip kicks are minus 14 now, except for his single flip kick, which is minus 17, like they all used to be, for some reason. Double flip kick is minus 14, down 3 plus 4 3 is minus 14, and I don't know about you, but I kind of preferred it the old way, where they were all minus 17, all easily launch punishable, but then you had a bigger reward on the counter hit down 3 plus 4 3 with the launching counter hit launching effect on it, right? Again, flip kicks is not really something you're supposed to be used like this in a neutral anyway, so yeah, I just kind of preferred the old flip kicks, I guess. Now, staying on this topic of things I preferred the old way is the Legend Kick, or Dragon's Flight I should say, as it's technically called in-game. So Legend Kick has quite a bit of a pushback in this game, where it didn't really have any pushback in Tekken 7, as we will see in a bit. And it means that you can't really take, you don't really get mix-up in the same way. It still does the wall crush and all that nice stuff, but yeah, it's not a super big problem. I just kind of preferred it, obviously, where it gives less pushbacks, because it's easier for you to get, like, your opponent, if they backdash here, it's going to be really hard for you to get, for example, like a side step free or a dragon hammer. It's easier to whiff. So you're gonna have to commit more. I guess this is not necessarily a bad thing, it's just something that you've grown accustomed to over many years of playing Tekken 7, and it just feels really bad to have this pushback here. I don't know if it was too strong to have no pushback on Legend Kick, being that it's like +7 on block. It has so much range, right? That you can do it from DSS as well. Chip damage on block in this game as well, wall crush and all that crazy stuff. Maybe it is too strong to have 0 pushback on it. But it is quite linear as well. It's not something you, at high level play at least, can just throw out all the time. So I felt like that was a great balancing point in Tekken 7, but yeah, I don't know. Preferred the old one, this one's still okay, meh, whatever. Now, lastly, in this section of the videos of things I dislike about Tekken 8 Law, let's talk about his low launchers, or lack thereof. So, one of the things I really hated about Tekken 8 Law initially, and I still do, is that they removed the launching property of his back turn down 4, nullifying his back turn game quite a lot. Yeah, I don't see why this move had to go. As far as I'm aware, Law is the only character in the game who had his normal hit low launcher completely removed without any sort of like compensation. Like, every other character in the game got to keep their snake edges and their counter hit low launchers as well, whatever they had already. Granted that many of them, especially like the snake edges and stuff, they became insta-bound combos instead of full combos. They could have made this an insta-bound combo as well. I don't know why they didn't, but yeah. And then I hear some people say, well, Law does have some counter hit counter hit launchers or low hit launchers. Well, the thing is though, yes, you do have technically DSS 4 into micro dash 1+2, but it is not it's not always possible to do, depending on which range you hit. If you hit the DSS 4 at max range, you cannot do it. You simply don't have the time, and other than that, it is, even if you're well within range, it's still super hard to do online. I'm like in practice mode right now. Granted, I don't have the best execution, but I like to think that I have pretty decent execution. This is not something you can do consistently every single time, unless you're like one of the best, right? unless you're cracked, is what I'm trying to say. So don't count on this. I don't really count this as a. It's more a gimmick, I guess. I mean, if they're straight up against the wall, right, then you can do it, because then you don't have to micro dash. So in that scenario, I guess it's a fine as a counter hit low launcher. Still like really slow compared to what other characters have for a counter hit low launcher that gives full combos. And then we have down 3-3. This is not like, don't let people tell you that this is a good low launcher. First of all, on counter hit, it is the second hit, which is a high, that is the launcher, right? The first hit in and of itself doesn't give any launching properties. Although if they neutral block, you will get this right here, and if it counter hits, the whole thing will be guaranteed. But you cannot pick up from this like regularly. Only in very specific situation, if you are off axis to the left like this, then you can get a pickup. And even then, the pickup will be off axis. So your combo, you can't even do a normal combo like this because it will drop since it's off axis. So you're gonna have to do a adjusted combo. It's like stable, won't hit. And then if you're off axis to the right, then you completely forget about it because now she's like much further away. So this is just not viable as a low launcher. So yeah, you basically don't have any, as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I don't see what's the big problem with having a back turn down for super slow, comes out at 23 frames, like that is reactable. Again, make it a insta-bound combo. I don't care, just give us this low back. It was such a fun low to have, in like, it didn't break the game in Tekken 7 or anything. Why I mean, yeah. Such a shitty change in my opinion that they did that, and I hope they reverse it at some point. Alright, now I booted up Tekken 7 and we're going to have a look at some moves, some tech, some mechanics that were present in Tekken 7 that are now absent in Tekken 8 and that I really miss and think should come back in some way, shape or form. Now, while we're at it here, I can demonstrate what a KBD is actually supposed to look like. Now, I don't think his KBD in Tekken 8 needs to be as good as it was in Tekken 7, but surely we can meet somewhere in the middle from this and to whatever the fuck they did to my boy in Tekken 8 in terms of backdash. Now, first up on my list here is DSS from while standing 1-2. In Tekken 8, of course, you can still go into DSS from while standing 1, but you cannot go into DSS from while standing 1-2 as you could in this game right here. And I sort of understand why. By the way, notice the pushback on Legend Kick here, or lag thereof. But yeah, I sort of understand why they removed the ability to DSS from the second hit of while standing 1-2, because like in the hands of scruffs that can just hold forward to get easy DSS inputs, I think it's probably too strong to have this in Tekken 8. So yeah, I kind of understand why they removed it, but it's something that I just personally miss a lot being able to do. Right, let's talk about his DSS grabs. You used to be able to do 1+3 grab from DSS, but you can't do that anymore. Why they changed this, I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then also his DSS 2+4 used to be a command throw, a 2 break, and they changed it to a 1+2 break. Now, the reason they changed this supposedly was because they changed a lot of throw commands in Tekken 8, since rage arts are now universally down forward 1+2. This used to be your down forward 1+2. It was what is now your up forward 1+2. But this change doesn't apply to DSS, since you cannot rage art from DSS anyway. So why they changed this to a up forward 1+2 throw in DSS, I have no idea. This means that he does no longer have a complete throw game since you don't have a 2 break anymore. This used to be your only 2 break. Yeah, that's gone, and I wish they would revert it back to the old way of doing things. Now, one move that I really miss from Tekken 7 is his back 1+2, his old punch parry. Don't get me wrong, I still love his new punch parry, the back 2+4, but if I had to choose, I prefer this one. Now, the other one is arguably more cooler, but this one has a lot more utility. It's a lot more versatile, which is why I prefer it. Now, being a punch parry, of course, it only works on punches. It has quite a long active window where you are parrying punches here, and it gives you access to your DSS moves after this window is over. You can see if I spam, for example, free here, during this whole window you're parrying punches, and then as soon as it enters your DSS stance here, you're able to do your DSS moves. By the way, this is your DSS free hit animation in Tekken 7. Notice how it just kicks them way across the screen. Now you're like a full screen away from each other, right? You know what we were talking about earlier. But yeah, you have on a successful parry, you have a bunch of different options here. You could do, for example, the 2 option. Here you have the 1 option, and then if you want to get the wall splatting option, you go with the 3 right here. And then the 4 option will give you a guaranteed follow-up here with forward 3+4. But one thing that I really like to do that a lot of people didn't know about is that, so for example in Tekken 8, Law has a side step 2. It wasn't available in this game. He has sort of a similar move, although it's not actually the same move. It's forward 1+4 here. It has inbuilt sidestep in it. You can actually use this move to get a guaranteed hit in the side where they cannot block it after a successful punch parry 2 option here. Now you see, if I just spam it out, nothing will happen here. But if you do a slide micro sidestep just before pulling it out, it will actually hit them in the side, and they will not be able to block it. And it's 100% guaranteed every single time if you have the execution for it. Let me see. There you go. Cannot block that. Yeah, super cool. Really missed that punch parry. Hope they'll bring it back one day. I don't think they ever will, but you know, a man can dream. I'll make this one short. In Tekken 8 you have sidestep 1+2 that goes automatically into DSS. In this game it's sidestep 2-1-2 like this, but in this game you also have the opportunity to just go sidestep 2 into automatic DSS, sidestep 2-1 into automatic DSS, and then of course 2-1-2, 1 for the full string. And why not have more options available, especially with the new auto parry DSS mechanic that is available in Tekken 8. It would give this string here a little bit more utility, and I think it would be cool if they added this back so that you have the opportunity to just go once or twice or however many times you would like. Here's a fun little mechanic I miss from 7. Running free into key charge gives you a decent mix here, since down 3+4 is a counter hit launcher. Now you could apply this in many different ways. You can just run straight up and do the mix here, or as I like to do sometimes, I would do key charge state into Dragon Hammer crouch, right? And then go for the down 4-3 like this to get the launch that way. That's a mix I would typically do. Really fun, really sad to see that mechanic go as well. Now, something that I was extremely sad to see gone in Tekken 8 is the forward advancing fake flip. We all know the fake flip, you can still do it in Tekken 8, but it's not possible anymore in Tekken 8 to do the forward advancing fake flip. This of course is because now up forward free is the new while standing free from Forest Law, the one I talked about earlier. But they could have worked around this in some way, because actually up forward free is not forward advancing fake flip in this game, so it's not really replaced by anything. What I mean by this is, if you press up forward free in this game, you get this right here. To get the forward advancing fake flip, you have to ever so slightly delay the free input, do up forward, and then with a super slight delay. It's very weird to hard to explain. You have to know this. Like, old school Law players will know what I'm talking about here. So they could have worked around that in a way. Also, I was quite sad to see that they changed the fake flip 4 I really prefer this version. It's safe on block. The new one is -12. And it's also way slower. This one comes out at 10 frames. I don't remember what the other one, but the other one is slower and more unsafe, which doesn't make any sense. It should be either slower and safer, or faster but more unsafe. This one was fast and safe, so I would prefer if we could make like a compromise. But yeah, I really mostly missed the forward advancing fake flip because I would use it a lot in my movement, but also you could use it in really creative and really fun to do like setups, especially at the wall. If people would tech roll at the wall, you could use it to as a setup into down to the back turn down 4. This is what the old launcher used to look like, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, really sad to see the forward advancing fake flip. I'll see if I can, yeah, I'll try and illustrate with an example what I mean with the setup, so you can see what you were missing out on in Tekken 8. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video will satisfy some of the many requests I've been getting on this topic right here. Certainly it felt good to get some of these things off of my chest. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a good one. See you soon. Goodbye.